she's had a lot of challenges, through her career getting to the level she's got to.
We have heated words sometimes, but it always ends up in us coming up with a great way to move forward.
Welcome to the SnowsBest.com podcast, It Takes a Village series, where we chat with Aussie athletes on their road to the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics and the village of people that helped get them there, from coaches to family members, judges, besties, officials, and more, with your host, Miss Snow-It-All, Rachel Oakes-Ash.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are super excited today. I don't think we've had a Winter Olympic gold medalist on our podcast at any stage, and today is the day. We're going to welcome to the podcast studio Jakara Anthony. But before we actually say hello, let's just give a little background. In case you were unaware, not only did she win gold in Beijing in moguls, she has secured herself 43 FIS World Cup podiums, 23 of which are gold. And who can forget the 14 that she won in one FIS World Cup season in 2023-2024, breaking the record of most golds in one season by any mogul ski athlete. Welcome, Jakara.
Thank you.
And Jack, we asked you to, do you get embarrassed when people talk about how many things you've actually won?
Oh, it's pretty crazy when you just list it like that. Like I don't know those numbers off the top of my head, so it's pretty cool hearing it.
Oh, it's awesome. Like it's particularly for young girls to see these kind of numbers come out of Australia in a discipline or in a snow sports, which is not something that, every single person watches or knows about. And on a global stage, moguls are it, and you're at the top of that field. We asked you to bring a member of your village into the podcast today. Now, who did you choose?
I have my coach, Pete McNiel. So I've worked on and off with Pete since I was like 12 years old, really, and full time since I was about 16. So it's really been through the ringer with me, the good and the bad, and been there for every step of the way.
Oh, that's awesome. Welcome, Pete.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
I love what you're wearing. I love that the two of you are matching in your monochrome grey shirts. It's like we're in a cult.
We just coordinate now.
Do you ring each other to find out what you're wearing for the day?
I think we're living with each other most of the time. Doesn't even take a phone call.
I know, pretty much, right? So how many months of the year do you guys spend together?
Oh, geez, I couldn't tell you exactly, but I would say that we're out of our home state for almost 300 days of the year. So for the most part, we're living out of each other's back pockets for about 300 days a year. Probably not always in the same accommodation, but we'll always be with one another during that time.
It's a lot, isn't it? Do you ever fight?
We have heated words sometimes, but it always ends up in us coming up with a great way to move forward. And some of our best moments have come following those, when we've really had to nut it out and work well together to get through those tough bits.
And does that help you, the relationship that you have together and how you manage your disagreements? Does that help you as an athlete approach challenges on the mogul course?
Ooh. Well, I mean, Pete in general helps me approach a lot of challenges in the mogul course from the technical side and stuff. We've worked really hard on our communication over the years, and I think that's something I've been able to take into other relationships in life and stuff, and really learn a lot. I've learned a lot in all aspects of my life, not even only as an athlete. Pete's really helped shape me as a person, being such a big role model in my life since I was so young, and probably around me more than my parents for a lot of the time when I was still like a teenager. So, yeah, it's been a big influence in my life.
I remember you when you were a teenager at Deer Valley, just before the Pyeongchang Olympics, where you came fourth, and chatting to you in a hotel in Park City and watching you. I was saying something, I think it was to Charlotte. We had Charlotte on the podcast, and I was saying how watching you over the past almost decade, I guess, has been really inspiring, because to me, you and also Laura Peel have come out of your shell and settled into your own skin, if that makes sense. And particularly watching you with media, because media is never easy. And it's just not, is it? Do you get nervous with media?
I do, but I've not so much these days. After Beijing, got thrown in the deep end and had to learn pretty quickly. But over the years, I've had more and more exposure in the media, and even had Pete's been there. He's seen some of my interviews, and he'll give me feedback whether I want to hear that or not. But it has resulted in me being able to improve. So not only a ski coach, but.
So when do you think it clicked for you two? In terms of when did you know, like, this is it? This is the guy I want to coach me for the foreseeable future. And you looked at Jack and went, yep, she's totally coachable.
I always really admired Pete as a coach and a person. I'd been around him when he was coaching the Team Blue Riders program when I was just a little kid, like from 10 years old. And I don't know what it was about him, but you could just tell the dedication and the knowledge and the passion was there. And from the time we started to work together, I think the thing that really worked best for us was just the amount of trust we had in each other. I don't know particularly why it was there or why it was so strong, but I think that's a big reason why we've been able to get to the level we have. He asks me to do some pretty crazy stuff, and it's a bit of a leap of faith. He doesn't know if it's going to work or not, but just all the different ideas he can come up with to progress in every area. It's truly unmatched, I think.
Can you think of a crazy thing he's asked you to do?
How many do you want to hear?
How long have we got, right?
Time where I think I spent like a month or so skiing with like a TheraBand around my knees. That's probably one of the less crazy things too.
What was the thinking behind that, Pete? Is that so that her knees wouldn't go too far out from each other, or was it to get her thighs? What was it?
If I think back to that particular thing, that was more to do with muscle activation and training your body to use certain muscles in a certain way rather than preventing you from doing anything. It was just one of those things like you use in the gym or elsewhere, and we just extrapolated it out to on the hill.
So does she, like, you're the head coach, the head Olympic coach for Australia. Is that right? Is that what your official title is, head Olympic coach?
My title is the head moguls coach of the Olympic Winter Institute of Australia National Mogul Team Program.
Does that fit on your business card? That's quite long.
Yeah, the OWIA Mogul Team. It is the Australian national team. The Olympic coach title, I assume, gets bestowed at the same point in time that the athletes get selected for the program.
Yep.
So I would like to think that will be my role, but I will wait to be officially announced in that capacity.
How many other athletes does Jakara have to share you with, though?
The national team program, through both the OWIA program and the New South Wales Institute of Sport combined national team program, currently has 11 athletes. So as the head coach of the national team, I guess I'm responsible for the direction of the overall program. Currently, I directly coach 3 of them at this point in time as my direct responsibility for hands-on coaching.
And who are those 3?
So it's obviously Jakara and Matthew Graham, as everyone will well know, who's also a very, very successful Australian athlete.
Very formal. Matthew Graham, very formal. Who's the third one?
All right, well, we can call him Matt the Missile Graham, as he's fondly referred to right now. And thirdly, Cooper Woods is the third athlete that I'm currently directly responsible for.
Oh, it's funny with Cooper, isn't it? Because I remember in Deer Valley earlier this year in the dual moguls, and you would have been there. I think I saw you there. And and we all thought he had won because he'd won by seconds, like thousands of seconds it looked like, and he didn't get through to the next bit, and everyone was like, why? And then we did a podcast with one of the judges actually, and she explained to us why. To a layperson like me, I look at that and go, he should have won that. And then she explained why he didn't. Do you think judging, do you get a lot of that? Both of you? Like, Pete, you must get that all the time. What were the judges thinking?
I think we all have biases towards certain things. We all believe certain things in how the sport is, how it should be, what we like in the sport, what we think is great. And I think we'll always disagree, or we'll often disagree with other people's opinions. So often we agree with the judges, often we disagree, but when we disagree with the judges, the opposition probably agrees with the judges. So at the end of the day, it is a judge sport. It's subjective, and you're going to like some decisions. Hopefully, you're going to like most decisions, but sometimes you're not going to like decisions. But that's the nature of being in a judge sport.
I know, but it's hard, isn't it? Particularly now that judging is remote for some of the FIS World Cups.
It's certainly a lot easier when you can look up at the end of a race, see a time, and know exactly where you came. Like in athletics or swimming or something like that. Certainly for us, the weighting, the judging, all those things. And then, as you say, the nature of it now is that the judges are remote and it's through video camera. It can be very stressful for both coaches and athletes now.
We were talking about this. I was saying to Zoe Jabor, but this sounds really stressful for athletes, that they've got one run down the mogul course and the judges are all at the bottom. So they're only seeing that front on. They're not allowed to see side on. They're not allowed to see vision. They can, but that's going to take quite a while to get that vision back to them, and the judging is all really quick. So therefore, and tell me, Jakara, if you think about this when you're actually mogul skiing, are you skiing down thinking about how the judges are seeing you, so therefore you have to present that your grab actually was a grab, as if you're being watched from that angle? Or do you just
I think I've been in a bit of trouble if that was my thought process while I was in the air. But it is something we definitely take into account, that they are judging you from front on. So when we're training chicks or training skiing, we're coaching a majority from the front so that we can determine how it's going to look for the judges. But at the time, I'm not giving the judges any thought during my run.
What is your thought process when you're on the course?
It depends what course you're on. Each course is going to have its little tricky bits. There'll be some constant themes throughout the year of things that I need to focus on, cues I need to hit at certain points in the run, like what I need to do on a takeoff or on my ski out or on a certain mogul. And then you've got all the variety of different moguls. So some courses you're going to be on small moguls, big moguls. I think that's a common misconception, is that our course is like a cookie cutter thing and it's the same everywhere, but it's completely different. And it's different run to run because, as you know, snow moves as you ski. So no two runs are ever the same. So, literally just thinking about what is it that I need to do right now to do that one mogul, next mogul, what am I doing into the jump, each part. So,
and when you actually, I can imagine, right? I can imagine because a lot goes through my head, but I would never be able to have the discipline to focus the way that you can, which is why I'm sitting on a couch and you're actually in the air. You did go to Livigno though. Like you unfortunately, after your silver then gold in the last FIS World Cup season, you then had an accident was it in Idre? I think it was during training. I love how I'm telling you. I think it was during training. It was
training
foggy
for the Drew Moguls Day, which ended up being
that's
cancelled.
right. Yeah, and it ended up being cancelled.
Yeah,
it was actually cancelled within about 5 minutes.
Was it really?
Yeah, 5 minutes after.
I didn't know that.
Jack hurt herself. She got off the run, and then they basically cancelled it immediately after. And nothing to do with Jack, just the conditions were absolutely untenable to run an event.
I remember looking at it on the webcam going, how could anybody be skiing in this? But unfortunately that put you out for the season, which I don't know, was that a relief in some ways, because now the pressure was off and the focus was just to actually recover?
I wouldn't call it a relief. It was had its own challenges being at home rehabbing. But I just kind of tried to take all the positives out of it. So got to have a summer at home, first one in 15 years. I got to work on some stuff in the gym that we don't normally get time to because we're always on snow. We got to go to a lot of the major sporting events in Australia that happen over summer and meet some really cool athletes and get to watch them. It wasn't all so bad.
No, it wasn't all so bad, was it? But you did end up going to Livigno to check out the course. Did you get to train on the course as well while you were there?
I got to ski some moguls on the course, which was really good. And I was so stoked with the course. I'm really excited to get to skate at the games. It exceeded my expectations. But it was only my first few days back on snow since the injury, so wasn't ready to compete yet.
Well, what did you think of the course, Pete?
Yeah, I think they did a really, really good job. It looked great. We had it's well suited to the way the Australian team skis moguls, and I think it presents really well. So at the actual event we were there, the weather was great. So the course was great. Everything, it's felt very European Alps type vibes. So hopefully we get similar conditions in February next year for the Olympics.
So you're telling me you had an Aperol Spritz?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Tell me, the way Australian mogul skiers ski, are we purists?
Look, I like to think we're reasonably pure. I like to think we have a very sort of strong eye and strong kind of focus on the technical elements in skiing and trying to do that at a really mastery focused level. So that's always our priority. The second thing I think we really try and do, and what I've built as a coach, is to try and focus on a technique that's sustainable for a longer period of time, because it's a really, really aggressive sport on your body. Injuries are very common. And certainly there's ways you can ski that will shorten the lifespan of you as an athlete. But we've really tried to build a technique that's more sustainable so that you can have a longer and more successful career.
So for the lay person who goes skiing and they happen to find themselves in the middle of a mogul field, which is quite daunting to most of us, how can we ensure the longevity of our skiing getting down that?
Geez, I should defer to the expert here, the one that does this thing. I just stand at the bottom and lean on the shovel. And
Jack would just eat it for breakfast. She wouldn't even blink.
Well, free
The rest
are
of
a
us
whole
will
new
just-
ball game. We're on a
Yeah, they are.
uniform course. I do
Yep.
love getting free bumps when we can, though, and they're everywhere. And I think that is really about being able to pick your line. You know, you're not always trying to go for the absolute beefiest part of the bump where you've got to do the most work, trying to find that nice sweet spot where you can actually absorb and get over the mogul rather than just slam into it. It's going to be a little bit nicer on your body as well, but it's a kind of an art form, free moguls. It's super impressive how back in the day they used to just compete on that and you just pick a random mogul and you do your jumps off that. It's the sport's evolved a long way since then.
And they do it without helmets. How do you think dual moguls is going to go in as an Olympic discipline? It's the first time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the first time. We've been competing on the World Cup tour for as long as I can remember, as long as I've been around anyway. I think everyone's pretty excited to get to show the world what we've got, and it's a super exciting sport to watch, but having it added to the games has definitely upped the ante a bit. People are skiing faster, they're jumping bigger than they ever have. As you said, there can be a bit of carnage sometimes, but it's super exciting.
I love watching dual moguls. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
It's got a lot more terrifying since it's been announced as an Olympic sport. People are pushing the speed the fastest it's ever been, way beyond what we thought was sustainable, and the risk is much higher. And when there's an Olympic medal on the line, people are willing to really take themselves to the edge. So
this is the thing, though, isn't it, with the Olympics? Because there's this added pressure, I imagine. I don't think I'd be able to cope with it. Every 4 years, that for one day you've got to be the one that wins that, despite the last 4 years being top of your game. How do you ensure, and you'll know this, Pete, as a coach, how you'd be doing this with individual athletes, because each of them would be slightly different, that you are entering at the right peak into the Olympics? Rather than having overshot yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also everyone can choke on the day too. Like what is it? What's the magic serum to getting a gold, Jack?
I wish there was one. I'd like to know myself. I think a lot of it comes down to the mental side of things, like being able to just stay present in the moment. It's when you start thinking about the fact that it is every 4 years and you need to perform every run, that's when it gets pretty overwhelming. Whereas if you can just stay in the moment and focus on what you can control, like what you're planning on doing in the run and how you're skiing moguls, that's kind of all you can do. But you can't just decide to do that on the day. It takes a lot of work in the lead up to prepare to be able to do that.
Well, because there's a lot of white noise at the Olympics, right? There's so much white noise around you. I think there's white noise around you at a FIS World Cup as well, particularly Deer Valley. But everyone seems to like step up at Deer Valley. Is it the DJs? Is it the music? Is it the lights? Is it the crowd? I don't know.
Oh, it's an awesome atmosphere there. And I think it's just also they built a really good course, and it's a big course. You have to ski it well, and I don't know. It's just pretty magical there. And the conditions under lights at night for the finals are always so much fun.
Huge crowd, heaps of noise. Like it's really like it's the Super Bowl of the World Cup tour for us.
It is,
so
isn't
many
it?
people come and support it. And I think that extra buzz, like it's great to have people live supporting this for us. And often many of the places we go to, it's hard to have that, whereas Deer Valley really puts that on.
So let's talk about how you manage challenges in competition. So do you experience anxiety or performance or competition anxiety? Do you get nervous?
I definitely get nervous. I think that's a pretty healthy thing when you're competing. Kind of means that you care about it, which you definitely want to if you're out there competing. But again, I think that being able to manage that is the work you've done in the lead up. You can't just decide on the day that you're going to be handle the nerves. You have to train to be able to do that, like you train to be able to do everything else.
So what do you do to train? Do you journal? Do you do visualizations? I don't know. What do you do for that?
I think most of it is just learning to be more self-aware, be able to catch your mind when you're drifting off to, what if I win? What if I crash? Like stuff in the future. And being able to come back and be like, right now I just need to ski the moguls in front of me. That sort of thing. And then being able to just use some grounding stuff like breathing or just noticing things around you. It's not rocket science, but it's...
But it works, right?
It works, but it's hard.
It's hard. It's not rocket science, but it works. It's that thing of what those breathe in for 3, hold for 3, breathe out for 3, concentrate, like focus on one thing in front of you. There's my advice to you, an Olympic gold medalist. That's my advice to you. Because Charlotte Wilson, let's talk about Charlotte Wilson. Wow. What did you think of her season?
That was incredible. It was really cool to have another girl up on the circuit. It's been a little bit since I've had someone. It's been me and the boys. But I was just wowed by her from her first event. Like I remember competing at my first World Cup and just being so overwhelmed, and she absolutely crushed it. Like I'm sure she was feeling a lot of emotions, but the performances she was able to put down were spectacular. And then to get to be there in Livigno when she took that podium, the win, that was really special. She dominated that day.
I was so sorry you weren't actually competing. I'm sure you were too, because how wonderful to have seen the two of you on the circuit together. And that really only happened for, was it one comp? Because I don't think she did the first one, did she?
Yeah, she did the first one, and then I
she
did the first one in the Dre, and then I was shipped off back home.
Shipped off back home. How did you feel when that happened?
With the injury?
Yeah. Did you know when you'd stacked it? Did you know you'd done something bad?
I knew it was not good. I didn't even feel like a shoulder to begin with, but then I was like, this isn't great. And, finally skied down, got it checked out, and was like, it's something related there, but we didn't quite know what, and then got x-rays, and it was like, probably a bit worse than I thought.
Right.
But I was lucky to be in a really good part of the world where I was able to get surgery before I was allowed to fly home, and got looked after really well, and then have our medical team back home looking after me. But one of the hardest things was I wasn't with this guy. I wasn't living in his pocket. It's probably the longest amount of time we've spent apart in pretty much my whole career, because he was off on tour and I was back home in Australia. So it was just a really different dynamic. Pete's one of my main support people, so to not have him around when it was a pretty tough period. And then I don't know, maybe it was tough for him not to have me on tour. I think we actually do like each other's company. So
it was a pretty different.
What do you say about that?
Well, I mean, it was a really different experience. As Jack says, like we've done every international season for about 10 years now, as well as every domestic season and the training through the whole year. And so that was a long period of time. It was definitely different. And I think handling, as Jack alluded to earlier, like she's had a lot of challenges, through her career getting to the level she's got to, and we've worked through those together, and we've handled those and managed those together. And this was this was one scenario where we weren't our proximity wasn't particularly good, and you've got time zones, you're in a different country, and so managing what seemed like one of the bigger situations or more difficult situations in our career, it was definitely posed challenges and was difficult for both of us to get through it.
Whenever they were back in Oz, Pete would come down and see me. They would come home for a few days at a time, briefly. But yeah, then I got to link back up with the team over in Lavinia, so that was really fun to get to see them all.
And you've just come back from Levi. I'll get it eventually. Levi. I can never say that place. Levi. How was the training camp?
Yeah, look, it was a good training camp. It's interesting going to Finland early October. So Finland store snow over the summer. They pile it up, they cover it in tarps, and they bring it out on the 1st of October and open the ski slopes. Now, they haven't had any natural snow. It's not particularly cold over there. And most places other than glaciers won't have snow at this time of the year. So it's a great opportunity for us to get on the snow in October, where you kind of can't really unless you go to a glacier. But obviously the snow is last year's snow, or it could be they store it for years and years, so it could be 10-year-old snow. But we definitely we got what we wanted out of the camp. So we're pretty happy with it. It's a long way to go for only a short period of time.
Do you think we're destined for any surprises this coming FIS World Cup season from some names that perhaps people don't know of?
From our team? Look, our team's always got a lot of potential, where I think we continue to build, and our younger athletes in the World Cup team are coming along well. So we've got some guys. Jackson Harvey's back from injury. He injured himself 2 seasons ago. So he did ski it right at the end of last season and went to the World Champs, but he should be back in full swing again. So we're really excited to see him back for the full roster again. And then the rest of the teams, they're looking pretty good, and we're pretty excited to see them all, how they go this year in the last qualifying events before the Olympic Games. There's 5 single events remaining and 4 dual events remaining, with the last 2 events being a single and a dual event at Deer Valley around the 15th of January. And the cutoff period for the Olympic qualification, I think, is the 18th of January. So teams won't get selected or announced till after that.
I'm just looking forward to the uniform announcement.
Yeah,
I want to know what you're all wearing. I want to get fashion. Yeah, I want to know what you're wearing. We need to take over a nightclub as the Australian HQ. But then I remembered Matt Graham's parents are probably going to be there, and I'm sure they will second to one straight away as soon as they arrive.
They did a pretty good job in 2018 in Pyeongchang to make sure that there was something to celebrate Matt's medal.
Yeah, always count on them. Which other members of your village, Jack, are going to be there for you?
Oh, I think almost everyone, which is really cool after the last games being a COVID games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to have all my normal support crew like Pete, physios, there's going to be doctors, dietitians, strength and conditioning coaches, the other coaches on our team and other athletes. But on top of all that, my parents are going, my brother, his fiance, like the whole family, I think, cousins, aunties, uncles.
Oh, wow.
I've got some friends heading over. And then I've had so many people from like the ski community just tell me they're heading over. Like there's so many Australians heading over. So
I know.
That's going to be really cool.
Pete, how do you get on with the rest of Jack's village? How do you manage them?
I mean, we're all been, I say, Jack and I have been living with almost with one another for the last 10 years. We've kind of been within the village also. Like, as you say, the team's kind of works together because the team shares similar values, that we have similar goals and we're trying to achieve the same thing. So we're actually, it really is a big collaboration rather than a bunch of people trying to work together. We're really in it for the same reasons. So we all get on pretty well, I'd say.
Oh, that's good. Is Sue Anthony in the background telling you what to say?
You've got me over there, nudging me from the side.
Okay, so last words. What are you most excited about for this coming season, Jack?
I mean, I'm excited to get back into competing, but with the Olympics in particular, I'm excited it's in a country where winter sports is such a big thing. Pyeongchang and Beijing were really cool experiences, but winter sports is still relatively new there. So to go to Italy, where it's a big thing there, and to have family and friends come, that's going to be really special.
Everyone will probably have those bells, right? They'll all be ringing those bells,
That's
even though
Euro
that's for
thing,
racing.
apparently, so
It's
rule it
Euro,
out.
right?
Yeah.
Or it'll be espressos and Aperol slope side.
All of the all of the above.
Pete, what are you looking forward to this season?
Oh, look, I love mogul skiing. We've got a great team. I'm really excited. They put in so much work throughout the year, like our whole team, Jack as well, but the whole team just so dedicated to trying to be the best that they can be. And every season is just a new opportunity for them to show the world what they've been working on, how hard they've been working. So I'm just really excited to see the fruits of their labour for the last 12 months. And then obviously an Olympic Games is pretty exciting. And hopefully we have a host of new first-timers, which will be really, really cool to see.
And if you could give Jack any advice whatsoever, what would you give her?
Well, if I could give Jack any advice, because I don't
Anything.
do that.
Doesn't do that on the daily already.
Enjoy every moment of every day, and stay present.
That's nice. Jack, what advice would you give Pete?
Ooh, I'm not normally on this.
So this is going to be a bit awkward.
I think the same thing, enjoyment in what you do. It's how you make things sustainable, and that makes it so much more fulfilling too. So just your words right back at you.
We do a pretty cool thing as a job. We fly around the world. We travel to amazing places. We travel to some other places that we don't think are so amazing, but really it is actually amazing what we do. And I think we're both pretty grateful, and our whole team's pretty grateful for the opportunity that we have to travel around the world and do this sport and have an opportunity to every day try and be the best that we can be at this thing. But
And the better you guys are, the more funding we can get. So keep going.
well, we'll try our best. We're trying really hard.
We're doing all right.
Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you in Livigno and hanging out with a little bit more of your extended village, Jack. This has been the SnowsBest It Takes a Village podcast. Thank you so much to Jakara Anthony and Pete McNiel.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the SnowsBest.com podcast. If you like what you hear, be sure to review and subscribe via your favourite podcast platform. Like @MissSnowItAll on socials and hit up the SnowsBest.com website for all your snow travel banter. This episode was produced on the land of the Gundungurra people. We pay our respects to the elders, past and present.